Okay guys, so getting ready to head back, and this is the boring pavement stuff, and I want to tell you something. I'm gonna buy another bike frame and build up another bike, and I want to ask your opinion, and I'm going to take my personal beliefs and ask you a little bit about your personal beliefs and opinions about buying another bike. Well, it's going to be a frame. I'm going to put all my own parts on it. I haven't bought a complete bike in 20 years, or at least 10 years. I can't remember the last time. And let me ask you your personal beliefs and your thoughts on this, okay? What do you think is more important? Saving as much money as you can and just getting the best bargain for that bicycle or that bicycle frame, or getting something that you feel is something that you resonate with, you connect with. Hold on, it's gonna get windy. And you like having that bike because, for me, because it's like an extension of you. You feel you bonded with it, connected with it, and you're gonna get to know it. You're gonna have it for a long time and make a relationship with it. And now let me take it even further. Do you think it's something that it matters to you if it's manufactured, mass manufactured in a foreign country, or if it's handcrafted here in America, or maybe handcrafted in another country, but it's something more bespoke? What do you think about that? Is that important? And or is it just a bike? Many people, a bike is just a bike. It's like, it's just a pair of shoes, and I'm gonna have 100 pair of shoes in my closet, and I'm gonna throw away those shoes when they wear out. And nobody goes to see a what's the shoesmith, or what are they a cobbler. Nobody sees a cobbler anymore and gets their shoes resold. Everybody just buys new shoes, right? And so, but what if you're still maybe old school and you feel that you would keep that bike, put new parts on it as a brake, you would repaint it, you would do all these things, you would take it completely apart and retreat your frame if it's a steel frame, and then put it back together. If that's kind of the crazy shit that you think you would do, it's more than just a bike. It's a hobby. It's something you like to tinker with. It's something that you admire. You look at it as a work of art. And is that something that you think about like that? And so now let me ask my questions here, okay? I want to buy another bike frame, and I want to build it up, and I'm deciding which frame to get. Now, 99% sure I'm going to get a hardtail, but then I'm thinking, what will I use a hardtail for? Will I build up another single speed and make it a rigid single speed, or perhaps even a rigid geared bike for like bike packing, for the bigger bike packing stuff? I'm definitely going to do some overnighters with it. I think overnighters would be great, and I have all the gear pretty much to do that, so why not? I might have to get a little bit of gear, but I got a lot of stuff. Got plenty of water bottles, that's for sure. And I want to do some exploring, and I'm not really going to use the bike for anything super technical, so rigid would be fine, and I would use my parts that I have. I like reusing my parts and using stuff out of my parts bin. So I have that MV mountain fork that I've had for years. I have a headset. That's another thing too. You know, as the new bikes change, you know, the headsets change, the bottom brackets change. Although getting a new bottom bracket is pretty important, and the reason I have a brand new headset is because I got a replacement from King Creek on my 110, because as you know, the 110 is 110 years warranty. So that's what they call it, the 110. So basically the lifetime warranty. So they replaced that because that's what cracked on my last rigid single speed. So I've had 2 rigid single speeds, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the simplification, but I'm thinking if I'm going to do more bike packing, I might do a rigid geared. And I would even use my 9er that is a rigid geared now that I made for that, but that frame is super small. It doesn't have any doesn't have enough room in that triangle to do anything with. So you tell me. And then about the American craftsmanship and, you know, becoming one with your bike and enjoying it as a work of art. Do I get something that's made offshore and maybe even brought here by obviously an American company, like my S-Cars? They're made in Taiwan, I think, but they did a really good job of sourcing that quad-butted chromoly, and they've got some titanium now. It's pretty cool. Or do I go back to 7? They would be happy to build me another frame. Or do I do something like Newhouse or Manzanita or something like that, where I do know Newhouse they're making some production frames, but they still do some frames here in California. So do I do the Newhouse or the Manzanita, or maybe something smaller like 44, or 44 is one I've looked at a lot. I don't know if you've seen those bikes. They have the Marauder, and the gravel bike is called the Huntsman, but they seem pretty cool. And when you go custom like that, but I just saw one yesterday on the Dutchman. I like his channel, but he has a new company that was a new steel frame that's made here too, and that thing looks amazing. If you look at the way the dropouts are, the detailed work that they have there. And then also Reeve is making another steel hardtail, or a tie hardtail. I can't remember which one it is, but Reeve, they make some really nice full suspension too. Do I get a full suspension? So I don't know. There's so many choices, because like I said, there's still that 1% that I would just go ahead. Of course, I wouldn't be able to parts bin some of my parts with that, but you know, if I did that. So you tell me your thoughts, and what matters most to you when it comes to choosing. I assume the people that are watching my channel are people that are kind of bike geeks like me, and aren't just gonna go buy a bike because it's cheap. The reason you're on my channel is because you're I keep saying you're, what kind of word is that? You are interested in something a little bit different, maybe a single speed or a hardtail or a gravel bike that isn't, you're not looking at the typical cheap bikes. You're not just looking for the cheapest bike, I should say. Anyway, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.